Hatches. This is half of our main event, as our main event will be kind of a throwback to what we normally do and whatnot. But this is going to be our main event's going to be a grudge match, and it's going to be an Iron Man match. But anyway, this one here, folks, is going to be a 30-man melee to crown the first ever Dream Matches and Dream Masters Classic Legends champion. So whoever wins this will be the first Classic Legends champion. So all your legends are here from all forms and just about everybody. They kind of did stints just about everywhere. WCW, ECW, TNA, and of course WWE, and of course ECW. And here we go as Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner is kicking it off with the monster Abyss. And here we go. That kick to the spine of Big Papa Pump as Abyss from TNA Impact is taken to Scott Steiner, who has been just about everywhere in both tag team and singles. And you saw this guy earlier, folks, as his team won their 8-man tag against the Hart family as King Kong Bundy approaches the ring. Quite frankly, it might be interesting to see what happened when King Kong Bundy goes in there against Abyss. Both are two big boys. I think Bundy outweighs him, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. As a Bundy hits him with a nice elbow. Steiner's down in the corner, taking a breather, maybe. Maybe Steiner knows to catch his breath and get it where he can. There's a lot of these guys haven't been in action in a long time, folks, so bear with them. And here we go. As Abyss, with that strength of his, backside slam to King Kong Bundy. And number 4, ladies and gentlemen, ECW alumni, who also made his rounds in WWE and in Impact Wrestling as an announcer anyway, is the human suplex machine Taz, is taking exception with Scott Steiner, apparently, as King Kong Bundy trying to get rid of the large Abyss. To no avail. You guys heard me mention this guy earlier, as here comes Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat, at number 5, as he goes after King Kong Bundy with a nice bulldog takedown, as Taz trying to get rid of Scott Steiner. Steiner himself likes to fancy himself on suplexes, as Steamboat eliminates the large King Kong Bundy. How about that for an upset, folks? And Abyss now has turned his sights on one of the greatest wrestlers alive, or of any time, really, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Taz teeing off on Steiner as, there goes Steiner, courtesy of Taz. And here comes the British Bulldog, ladies and gentlemen. Bulldog, former tag team champion, former United Intercontinental champion, former, European champion, former bunch of champions just about everywhere. One half of the British Bulldogs legendary tag team group, and also one member of the legendary Hart family going back in the day. Married to the lovely sister of Bret Hart, Diana Hart Smith. Well, now she's Diana Hart Smith. Father of Harry Smith, who you guys know as D.H. Smith from WWE days, as the Macho Man Randy Savage has hit the ring and goes right after the Bulldog. And Taz teeing off on Abyss. Steamboat gets a breather, but Steamboat I don't think really needs a breather, as he's measuring whoever he wants to kick next. And Taz greets him by throwing him into the corner. Bulldog is standing over both. Now he puts the kicks to Abyss. Folks, old school, taking a break from Knox County, I guess, ladies and gentlemen. It's old school, very classic Kane. Not Dr. Isaac Yankem, and not the fake Diesel or not several other different people. No, it's Kane himself. As Ricky, by the way, Ricky Steamboat unfortunately was eliminated, so you guys are aware. As Abyss with a power slam of his own to the Bulldog. Taz is being used as a pinball between Macho Man and Kane, as Macho Man now taking it to Abyss. Quite frankly, it might be kind of cool to see Abyss and Kane go at it. Uh-oh. All right, folks. There's no kiss cam here tonight, but here's Khali. How nice of Khali to come back to the world of wrestling, I guess. As he goes after Taz, the smallest guy in the ring. I don't think that's really surprising. As Abyss throws Macho Man into the corner, and Kane now trying to get rid of the British Bulldog. Bulldog hangs on as Abyss tosses Taz around. Uh-oh. Khali shoves down Taz. Kane's still trying to get rid of the Bulldog, and by the way, making his debut and making his way into the ring, good old Sting, the icon. And by the way, in case you guys didn't know, Bulldog was eliminated. Yeah. And Taz, with one of his Tazplexes, just eliminated the great Khali. I told you it was a suplex machine. Okay, folks. The guy who's responsible for the name of my first pet, and also the man who's responsible for my favorite pets in general, Jake the Snake Roberts, one of the greatest talkers and minds in wrestling, as he goes right after the Macho Man to continue their long-time feud, I guess, as Khali walks back to the locker room. Thankfully, he's not dancing back to the locker room. That would just be horrifying. As Abyss and Kane, I just realized, are duking it out, as Taz and Sting are duking it out. And, yeah, so everyone's kind of paired off right now. Some of these are kind of cool. Uh-oh, Abyss has got Kane up. And down goes Kane. Courtesy of Kane. And Taz with another Tazplex gets rid of the icon Sting. How about that? Taz has got two pretty big eliminations right now, and there goes Jake Roberts, courtesy of the Macho Man. And there goes Kane, courtesy of Abyss. And we're down to a three-man right now, but trust me, there's plenty more to come. As Taz takes Macho Man's head off with a clothesline. Oh, look! It's the current owner of WWE Entertainment, Mr. McMahon. I'm sure any one of these guys would love to get their hands on Mr. McMahon, who actually takes down Abyss from behind, mind you. I don't know how smart that was, but Mr. McMahon now has zeroed in on Abyss. Yeah, McMahon trying to get rid of Abyss. You sort of got him gone. As Taz and Macho Man are duking it on the other side of the ring. Oh, look. It is one of the newest members of the WWE Hall of Fame, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, making his way into the ring, who puts a kick to the Macho Man. I guess they're going to continue their thing too, I guess. Wow, long-time rivals going at it again with folks. As McMahon tees off on Taz, but not watching the monster Abyss is a mistake. I guess he forgot that he didn't get rid of him. I guess that happens at McMahon's age. As now, Beefcake's up. Uh-oh. At number 14, Mr. HBK himself, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And of course, surprise, surprise, as Beefcake apparently thinks he's got the power of Hulkamania behind him as he's trying to eliminate Abyss by himself by one leg. And the Macho Man and Taz are back at duking out at each other again. That'll be something. Anyway, Abyss, McMahon put the stomps on Shawn Michaels. Abyss goes down, and there goes Yep, there's the elimination right there. Macho Man gets rid of Taz, finally. That's a big elimination, actually. Uh-oh. And number 15, the guy who put Native American Wrestling on the map, Wahoo McDaniel. Uh-oh. He looked like he tried to knee Abyss in the back, which Abyss could care less about, who was too busy slamming Macho Man to the ground as he's... Oh, look at that. Wahoo McDaniel, fist to the face of Abyss. No fear on Wahoo McDaniel. The Chief is on a rampage as Michaels and McMahon in one corner and Beefcake and Macho Man in the other. And there goes Macho Man, courtesy of Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Only here on Dream Masters, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! Wahoo thrown like a rag doll, courtesy of a bit. Oh, man. Well, just when you thought it was all, I told you it was open to any legend, I guess. And it was open to everyone. I guess someone considered Shark Boy a legend somehow. But there he is, folks. Shark Boy, uh-oh. Abyss just got rid of the Chief Wahoo McDaniel. As Shark Boy has zeroed in on Mr. McMahon himself. Maybe he's upset because McMahon didn't see. Oh, there goes Shark Boy. I don't think I'm surprised, though. Shark Boy, who is the newest person to come into the ring, is now also gone. As is Shawn Michaels, who's also gone. Also, I think that was Briefcake who got rid of Michaels, actually. As McMahon apparently has lost his mind again and decided to go after Abyss again. Uh-oh, kick to the gut. And Beefcake now comes from behind. And now they're teaming up on the Monster. It's probably the only way you're going to get rid of him, honestly. McMahon takes him down. Beefcake lost his mind, hits the air. Uh-oh. All right, folks, at number 17. Can you feel the power? Here he is, the Ultimate Warrior himself. No one's safe. There goes Beefcake down first. That's not surprising. McMahon gets thrown halfway across the ring. I think it's interesting, though, he didn't pick a fight with Abyss yet. And oh, there goes McMahon, courtesy of the Warrior. Uh-oh, Beefcake might be next on that list. Oh, Beefcake turns it on the Warrior. Uh-oh, and the Warrior out by Beefcake. How about that, folks? Beefcake has some pretty big eliminations in this thing as Abyss picks him up on his shoulders and throws him to the match. And I also like to point out, Abyss is number 1 or number 2 in this thing. So that's kind of impressive on the Monster's size. As the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, comes to the ring. And Beefcake! Another big elimination by Beefcake. And he gets rid of Abyss. I'm really surprised by Beefcake's performance in this thing. Very well done by Beefcake. Maybe by going to the Hall of Fame that rejuvenated him. Uh-oh. Flair might find his way out of the ring now, too. Uh-oh. Another elimination by Beefcake. And there goes Ric Flair. Now Jerry Lawler hits the ring. Beefcake is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. He has some huge eliminations in this thing. Beefcake could be closing in on becoming the Legends Champion, as Jerry Lawler looks like he is next to fall victim, or is he, to Brutus the Beefcake. Beefcake has taken them all out. Introduces... Uh-oh. Well, if you guys like DDP Yoga, I like DDP Yoga, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. As DDP has hit the ring, and he is waiting his turn. It is the airplane spin, which I haven't seen probably since Brutus Beefcake wrestled. Beefcake with the airplane spin, and looks like DDP might pick up the pieces here. Nope, reversal by Jerry Lawler to DDP with a nice reverse DDT himself. Uh-oh. Lawler turns his back to pose as Beefcake and DDP now face to face. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko. As he tees off on Beefcake. He knows, and there goes Brutus Beefcake, courtesy of the man of 1,000 holds. How about that, folks? But can't be mad at Beefcake. He did a hell of a job in there, eliminating some huge stars and that legend in that man. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to get rid of half the guys he did. So hats off to Beefcake. He did a hell of a job there. But Dean Malenko looks like he's going to make a name for himself as he goes after Jerry Lawler next, and DDP coming to help out. But I think DDP might want to pay attention, and Lawler's gone, by the way. DDP might have some problems right here as Raven has hit the ring, and we all know the history between Raven and DDP from the old WCW days. It looks like they were both, actually three of these guys, all three of these guys, huge members of the WCW, Cruiserweight, and United States, and everything else of WCW. And ECW, as far as Dean Malenko and Raven. Oh, WWE, I guess. But, ladies and gentlemen, my mother's favorite wrestler, Rick Martel. As a kid, my mother would often, tell these outlandish stories about how she dated Rick Martel, which, even as a kid, I knew was not necessarily a true thing. As he has entered the ring and he's going after DDP as Dean Malenko and Raven. Oh, nice knee lift by Rick Martel. Rick Martel, in case you didn't remember, was the model Rick Martel. Before that, he was a tag team wrestler, very accomplished, with a few different tag team partners, with the Young Stallions, with the Young Americans, with the Cam-Man Connection, and of course, with Tito Santana, the Strike Force. Things just got extreme, folks, as the former ECW champion, the Incredible One himself, Justin Incredible, has hit the ring. It might be interesting to see what happens when Justin Incredible and Raven see each other, too. But anyway, Dean Malenko and Justin Incredible are reacquainting themselves, I guess, as Rick Martel trying to get rid of Raven, and DDP is just watching and learning, I guess. Perhaps maybe he wants to do some yoga in between his match. There's a chop. A little surprised we haven't seen DDP and Raven really go at it. The chairman, ladies and gentlemen, of ECW. Oh, there goes. Dean Malenko just got rid of Justin Incredible with ease, and there goes Rick Martel. Looks like he's going to return the favor by getting rid of Dean Malenko. Not quite. Malenko hangs on. Malenko, part of the Malenko family of wrestling. And DDP has a new... Oh, there's a slam there. And there goes Dean Malenko with a knife-edge chop. A Raven trying to get rid of Rick Martel. My, how far Johnny Polo has come. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that February 15th wasn't too long ago, but hopefully you guys remember to pay your taxes on time. But more so than that, you might also want to remember that the father of two very current and very hot superstars, well, one more so than the other, the father of one Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas is now hitting the ring as Erwin R. Shyster, or Mike Rotundo, has come into the ring and trying to get rid of his good old friend, Dean Malenko. So when you guys talk about a lot of people, question, who's tough in wrestling, who's not, and there goes Dean Malenko, there goes DDP, courtesy of the Mahoney one, as Bad News Brown. If you ask a lot of wrestlers back in the day, in current day, if you want to ask them who the toughest guy, like outside of the ring is, Bad News Brown would be on that list of legitimate badass tough guys, is Bad News Brown. But Dean Malenko right now is finding out why, as Raven and Rick Martel and Mr. Mahoney is showing IRS that he could care less about his taxes. Or collecting his taxes, for that matter. And there, okay. Speaking of ECW alumni, it's the homicidal, genocidal, death-defying madman known as Sabu. We saw his other friend earlier in a match earlier today as he defeated Matt Riddle earlier today, as Sabu is now getting acquainted with Dean Malenko again. If you guys remember the old ECW days, Dean Malenko was originally over there back in the day before the WCW days, and Him and Sabu had some feud matches back in the early days of old ECW. And now Malenko's got Sabu up and down, and now Shysters gets power bombed, and Raven now is showing Bad News Brown that he is just as tough as he is as he throws him over the top rope. IRS reversal, nope, cook to the face. Raven now has turned his attention on Rick Martel. Raven not one for the pretty boys, as Sabu is now beating on IRS, and Dean Malenko gets to deal with the chairman of ECW. And goodbye, Dean Malenko. Shyster now with a side headlock and a fist to the face of Sabu. And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from wherever he's been. Dallas, Texas, I guess. It's The Undertaker, who goes right after IRS, of course, as they have a history, I guess. Well, actually, a history all over the place. Rick Martel gone, courtesy of the chairman of ECW. And The Undertaker now greeted by the chairman of ECW with a right hand, and he goes down. Sabu, it looks like he's going to get tangled up with IRS, which I think if you ask Sabu about the IRS, he'll tell you, well, he probably won't tell you anything.